Hi, and welcome to my vegan experiment. Ooh, actually it's Vegan Diver Cat now because I've changed it just because people couldn't find me from my Instagram, and a lot of people know me on Instagram as Vegan Diver Cat, so yeah, go check out that. But yeah, it's still me, it's still Cat, and I'm still here bringing you ocean-friendly, sustainability, and all that stuff. So today I'm doing a bit of a Q&A. As you can tell, I'm quite sick. So I wasn't feeling up for doing anything big, but also to celebrate 5,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. I cannot believe 5,000 of you have pressed that subscribe button and have wanted to join me on this journey towards conservation. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, let's get into the question. Before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe. Let's keep going to the next 1,000 and let's keep protecting our oceans. And you guys are helping me do what I love. If you want to support me in this, you can check out my Patreon or buy yourself one of these t-shirts. They're the Plastic is the Killer t-shirt, and they feature a killer whale with some plastic debris on it. So yeah, check those out. Let's go into the questions. So before we start as well, I got so many questions again from new divers and kind of tips for new divers and all of that. So I want to let you guys know I have a whole playlist of tips for new divers, and you can check that out here. I also have videos on the most common fears for going scuba diving, what to expect from an open water course, and my own journey from open water to instructor and how I became an instructor at 18. So yeah, just click all that below. There's plenty of that. Let's get into some of these other questions. So Felicia asks, I would like to volunteer in Indonesia or Australia because I'm traveling there next year. Do you always need diving experience or a certification for that? So I think this is a great question. No, you do not need diving experience to volunteer everywhere, but it really depends where. As you guys might have known, I've done 2 volunteering things recently and made videos about them. I went on the Australian Institute of Marine Science. There you definitely need to be a diver. You need to have rescue or plus with many dives. And then I also did volunteering with Reef Restoration Foundation. So there as well, you do need to be a diver, you need to have your certificates, and you need to be comfortable in the water. So usually they say about 50 dives or more. In terms of other volunteering opportunities, there's a lot of volunteering you can do with sea turtles. For example, there's one here in Fitzroy Island, the Cairns Turtle Rehabilitation Center. There's a few in Costa Rica and all over the world, and you do not need to be certified scuba diver. If you want to do kind of in-water stuff like coral reefs, then definitely yes. If you want to do out-of-the-water stuff, then not necessarily. If you're unsure, you should check out Sea Shepherd, join the charter which is in your area and start volunteering with them. They have onshore crews, so you kind of help at their stalls, at the events, cleanups, things like that. Also check out Parlay. They're great. They now have things all over the world. And again, cleanups, and you don't need to have a diving ticket to help out in that case. Byron says that he noticed I was getting close to 5,000, so yeah. I hit 5,000 on YouTube. Pretty happy with that. CGM asks, environmental impact of flying. So I actually have a whole video about me being a hypocrite because I do fly to visit my family in Europe and I live here in Australia. It's massive. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll input the stats here. Flying is the least good thing you can do for the planet. Basically, ways you can minimize your impact when you're flying is fly less, try do less takeoffs and less landings because those are the most fuel intensive. Pack light because every kilo counts when you're up there. Also try and buy the carbon offsets. Of course, fly as least as you can. And then if you have a choice, buy the newer airlines and airplanes since they are more fuel efficient. But yeah, it's not great. How long did it take you to learn to dive at your current level? So, well, I guess it took the whole 12 years to reach the current level I'm at, but in terms of becoming an instructor, I became an instructor 6 years after I started diving. So I became an instructor when I was 18. If you're curious more about my whole scuba diving instructor journey, check out the other video over here. Have I ever dived with decompression stops? No, I haven't. I am only a recreational diver. I haven't gotten into any technical diving, so I haven't done decompression stops. I always do safety stops, and on particularly deep dives, I do extra safety stops on the way up, which in a way are decompression stops because I'm letting my body decompress, but officially, no, I have never done decompression diving. Have I considered doing technical diving? Yes, I would love to, but again, it's kind of a thing of finances right now. To get into technical diving, you need generally a lot more equipment, so you need doubles of everything. It's good to have your own tanks, and considering I'm traveling so much and it's just not the right time for me, but I would definitely love to get into technical diving one day. How much kit do you own versus actually rent? So I own everything except scuba tanks. I never recommend buying scuba tanks because they're expensive to buy, and then you also have to pay $70 a year roughly to maintain them and make sure they are up to date. That is in Australia. In other places in the world, you only have to check them once every 2 years or once every 3 years. If you're just a new diver, recreational diver, definitely check out the video I made about what equipment you should own as a new diver. But in general, everyone should have their mask snorkel fins, and I would recommend getting a dive computer. A wetsuit is also good because then you know it fits your body type well, and you don't have to swim in anyone else's pee. In terms of the hardware, BCD and regs, they're quite heavy, so it can be hard to travel with. So that is something I would even rent sometimes when I go on holiday. Like when I went to the Bahamas, I didn't bring all my equipment, but I did bring my mask for sure. Mask and computer always comes with me no matter where I go. Should you learn to dive with a dry suit from the start? I learned to dive with a dry suit well into my diving career, and it's quite hard if you are going to be diving a lot in cold water. Probably a good thing to get orientated in a dry suit pretty early on. I would do your normal course normally, your open water course in a wetsuit, and then potentially look into doing a dry suit course, or at least a kind of a try dry suit dive in shallow waters or the pool even. Would you buy secondhand or charity non-vegan clothing? So I try and not buy any non-vegan clothing anymore. I still have a couple of leather shoes somewhere in my mom's house. I think I have a couple leather jackets still there that I haven't gotten rid of. But yeah, I try and buy natural material, so 100% cotton, things like that. I look for cotton, linen, so vegan as well as non-plastic items. Sometimes, I think just recently I might have bought a dress which has a blend of silk in it, but it was $5 and it's really high quality and silk is really good. So yeah, I don't know. I would always rather opt for vegan and plastic free if I can, even if they're secondhand, but that's just me. Scariest moment underwater. I'm very lucky that I haven't had very scary moments underwater. I've always been very well prepared. I never go diving when I'm hungover or not feeling great, so I'm quite ready in most situations. So even if something scary would have happened, I'd be present, so I don't remember anything too scary. But I guess every time my heart rates up, if I have one of my students who panics, so whether it's because they inhaled some water or they saw a fish that surprised them and they freak out and they start going to the surface, that always does get my heart rate up. I have caught every single one of them, but I can clearly now think of like the 5 or 6 instances where, you know, my students have shot up and I've had to catch them, and that always gives me a scare because I am responsible for other people's lives and I want to do the best job to make sure they're safe and I'm safe. So that's probably the scariest moment, is if one of my customers is giving me a signal that they're not feeling well or something's wrong. But I've been very lucky. I have had no accidents happen to me while scuba diving, knock on wood, with my customers or anything like that. So I'm very lucky to not have any scary experiences. How long can I hold my breath for? I can hold my breath for 2.5 minutes while freediving. So I'm interested in actually doing a freediving course. So if you've done a freediving course, I'd love to hear which one you did, which one you'd recommend. So leave that down below. How do you get better? Do a course. talk to the people who are good at it, because there are as well safety precautions, so you have to make sure to do it well. So check out some experienced people. All right, wow, and there's more and more. I think I'm going to stop there. Sijim, thank you so much for those questions. There's one interesting one. How's dating when you travel so much? It's always hard, and for those of you guys who aren't sure if you want to travel or not because of your partner, a good partner will definitely support you and your travel. I mean emotionally, not financially. Will support you if you want to travel, or they'll come with you. So this is the way I want to live, and I'm lucky enough that I've always been with people who either want to join me on my adventures and live the whole crazy travel life, or they've been happy to let me go and do my own experiences while they're at home working. So if you have the right person, it's not too bad. Long distance sucks sometimes, but it's worth it with the right person. Georgia Boy asks, what are some good tips for diving for the first time ever? Watch my videos to get ready for it beforehand, and choose your instructor. I think that's the biggest tip before going diving. Actually talk to the person who's going to be taking you underwater, because your instructor is really going to make the course the most incredible experience of your life. That's the most important part. And Joe Moy also, tops for a beginner diver, general tips for diving and getting into the industry. Again, I have plenty of videos on this, but just as a quick thing is talk to people, make friends. You never know who's going to end up doing what. So my friend Perrin, I mentioned him before many times. I met him at the University Dive Club at my university in Brisbane at UQ, and he was just another diver back then, and he then became my dive master student, and now he's a marine biologist at the Australian Institute of Marine Science. So yeah, and because of him I got the chance to go on that boat. I learned about the opportunity to go volunteering on that boat, so I'm very lucky. But most of the things I've done, my trips to Cambodia and most of my trips, New Zealand, around Australia, has been due to the people I've met. So yeah, just be friendly, be open, and help out. If you can help other people, they will maybe one day help you. So yeah, just try and give as much as you can, be positive, and people will remember you and hopefully invite you back. I'm so thankful to all the people I've met in this industry, and I'm meeting new people every day, and I absolutely love it. So if you guys are one of the new people I have met, very happy to have met you, and I hope we get to go dive together soon. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. It's already almost 20 minutes long that I've been recording, and I am struggling a little bit. I have a bit of a cold, but yeah, hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers once again. Check out any of the other videos. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. Make sure to follow social media, you know, all the jazz. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon.